Hi everyone, thanks for watching. This is kind of a part two to the last video that I made. Some amazing finds that I found here, and these are all going to be 7-inch records and 10-inch records, but not just records. They've also got jackets. We have EPs here, uh, multi-tracks on each disc in a lot of cases, and a lot of interesting stuff for you people that are interested in this kind of early jazz record. Or even people who aren't, just like to see cool covers and things. All right, the story behind these. Well, I was sitting at my record store, and a guy just came in cold. He had like his grandfather's record collection or something. Wanted to know if he could get any money for them. A lot of pretty amazing jazz records in there. Most of them that I was not interested in, but a lot of them are in this batch, and that's the beauty of it. One minute you're in there and you're just in there hanging out, talking music with everybody, having a great time. Next thing you know, you turn around and somebody comes in, and boom, just like that, you've got tons of rare records coming in. Well, I say rare records. I mean, excuse me, fix my collar here a little bit. It's only gonna mess up again anyway. Um, Rare records, not rare. A lot of people think they're garbage, actually, but one man's junk is another man's treasure. So let's do it. I'm gonna start with the. We got 7-inch or 10-inch. Let's start with the 7-inch records. All right. First thing here, "The Spirit Is Willing," Glenn Miller. Now, I just have a real thing for collecting vintage 7-inch records. I think it's the coolest thing. These are all over the place. Harry James in person. This is all from that same collection. And I notice a lot of them are stamped here. We have a stamp there, Radio City Music Shop from New York City. A lot of them, seem to have been obtained at the same place. And I just love the vintage and the history behind these. Okay, here's Trumpet Time, Harry James and his orchestra. And this one opens up. A lot of them, the insides just don't show much, just other releases and things that are available for purchase. As I say, a lot of these may be out of order. It doesn't matter. This is Glenn Miller Concert Volume 3. All stuff that I probably, have on LPs, but as a collector, I'm really loving having these. I just like having original picture sleeves. Sun Valley Serenade, Glenn Miller and his orchestra. I won't open too many of these because, there's nothing really inside. A lot of them do open up. There's a gatefold thing. Glenn Miller, an album of outstanding arrangements. Glenn Miller, we've got The Nearness of You. I can't tell you how cheap these were, guys. I mean, you could imagine, right? Down South Camp Meeting, Benny Goodman. This one I'm going to open up because this is pretty wild. It's like a three-way gatefold. Benny Goodman presents arrangements by Fletcher Henderson. And it opens up like a three-way gatefold. These are in pretty good shape considering. Benny Goodman, or BG in Hi-Fi. That's volume 1. This is part 2. Covers are all the same. Part 3. And also part 4. I have these already. I think I have an album with this cover, the same title. So this is just a nice supplement to that. Benny Goodman Trio, a treasury of immortal performances. Look at this, Benny Goodman, Honeysuckle Rose, 1938 Carnegie Hall Jazz Concert. Harry James, you see the names, Count Basie, Gene Krupa, Lester Young, etc., etc. Harry James Dance Parade. Now, the The next one, two that I have, were really great find because I learned about this young man who died too young, and he's Charlie Christian, who was an amazing guitarist. I think in the early, like 1940, around there. He's with Benny Goodman, and I got two records. That was one. The other one has the same cover. Really, it's another volume. But how cool to have these. And the records inside these, I should mention, although I haven't shown any, are in really good shape. Here's now we're getting into like box sets, Carnegie Hall jazz concert. These are boxes that inside you have several records in there, which I'm not going to show all the records, no need to, but just to give you an idea. There's a multi-disc set, these particular boxes. This is volume 1. This is volume 2. And then we have other ones here. This is just a volume 2. And this was volume 1. I had a sequence. Volume 1 from that particular collection. Benny Goodman's Sextet Session. Okay, I'm going to show now some Frank Sinatra 7-inch records, and let me explain that. Very recently I made a video where I was getting rid of some Frank Sinatra records, the key word there being some, but none of the records that I sold were 10-inch records or 7-inch records. I like to keep the 7-inch, 10-inch records, and that's what I've done with Frank. And also, when I did cull the collection, I only got rid of half of it. I tried to get rid of duplicates, things that I didn't think that really I was that interested in. I kept the cream of the crop, I hope, of Frank Sinatra. So I'm still interested. In other words, I'm still interested in collecting some Frank Sinatra, playing them, especially now that I'm really fascinated with this big band era stuff. I like to hear some of his stuff. So here's Swing Easy, part 1, and Swing Easy, part 2. And a lot of these are albums that came out on LP that are just broken up into multi 7-inch records. Like this, you have Songs for Swinging Lovers #1, Song for Swinging Lovers 2, and then, not to be outdone, we have 3 and 4 together, Songs for Swinging Lovers. The backs of these are kind of similar. This one opened up into a gatefold. And with Frank Sinatra, based on the stuff I've been playing, I prefer the Capitol years, I think. There's some stuff on the earlier Columbia years that I do like, but it's really hit and miss for me. It depends a lot on the song, I think. I don't like his style as much as the Capitol era, but I think I can enjoy the earlier Columbia stuff when it's a song that I'm familiar with and really like. Same thing here, A Swingin' Affair. This is 1 and 2. This is A Swingin' Affair 3 and 4. And at least the insides of these have a little more photos than some of the other ones I showed. These, it looks like other records to buy. Okay, here's Songs for Young Lovers. Come on, you gotta love that. You gotta love that shot. That's beautiful. I mean, I know I have that. This is one that I have that I kept on a 10-inch record, and I got a new 10-inch upgrade of that record. Session with Sinatra. Beautiful, just beautiful looking stuff. Then we got Come Fly With Me. Let's do a whole bunch of those. Part 1, Part 2, Come Fly With Me, Part 3, and lastly, Part 4. So, this is what the back of all of these look like. So I mean, what a just a great like a haul, great haul that came in that particular day. Uh, Yesterday. Anyway, let's go now to wrapping this up. This is going to be 10-inch records, and we're going to start with these interesting records from. These are from South Africa. This is Glenn Miller Volume 2, Miller Volume 3. Both of these are South African releases. You can see the flip back, fold back cardboard there. I don't. I'll pull out one. It's too much trouble, I think, to pull these out. I got them taped shut. I have to wait for my record store to order some of these 10-inch plastic bags. Otherwise, what I do is I cut them down and I make my own out of 12-inch record size bags. Okay, here's Glenn Miller Concert Volume 1, 10-inch record. Here's Orchestra Wives, music from the original soundtrack of the film Orchestra Wives, played by Glenn Miller and his orchestra. That's what a beautiful cover that is. And I can tell you, this record's in great shape. All right. The remainder of these, and there are only about 4, I think, here. Frank Sinatra again, and again the same thing holds. I mean, I'm just fascinated by the mid-sized records. I mean, not LPs or 45s, but I don't wonder whatever happened to the 10-inch record format. This one, a guy in the store who was a fan told me this is his first record. This is Frank Sinatra's first record, and it didn't cost much at all. It was $5 for this. The voice of Frank Sinatra. It's the first one. Has a flat back here. Columbia. Nice shape. As I say, this particular stuff, the early Columbia, is not my favorite stuff from Frank. But when I play a few of these, I played one like the next one I'll show you, a good example. The next one I'll show you I played, and to me it was a total bust. I mean, I really didn't like anything on the entire disc. And it's this one. I've Got a Crush on You, Frank Sinatra. I didn't really like any of the songs on here. Played the whole thing. But yet, I'm sorry, guys, I shouldn't make apologies, fuck that. But I actually, I love collecting it. I mean, that's a great, great cover. And if I'm going to collect Sinatra 10-inch records anyway, why the hell not have this? It fits in and it's a beautiful looking piece. But I did enjoy other stuff. Like I enjoyed this one more. Sing and Dance with Frank Sinatra. Also Columbia Records. But I liked some of the stuff on here. He does It's Only a Paper Moon, My Blue Heaven, When You're Smiling. These are songs that I know. So the vocal arrangement, the style, music worked anyway for me. The last record I'm going to show for this video, this is an upgrade. I have this already, but this is in much better shape. It's the 10-inch version of Frank Sinatra Songs for Young Lovers. And you can see on the back, purple capital label. Well, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed it. I'm having a great time with these records. And this is a really great new genre. A lot of the early jazz big band stuff that I'm so happy that finally I caught up with in my life. And to think that a while ago I was thinking I was just going to stick to just certain things. You know what? Hey, if something's good, I'm buying it. Screw that. Thanks, everybody.